Hi guys, it's Mary Ellen. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to be talking about life, and I'm going to be making a page about how to let go of certain things in my life, and um yeah, just watch and see. Okay, so lately I've been feeling, for lack of a better term, icky. I've been feeling a little icky. And if you watched my creative journaling video, you probably picked up on that a little bit. My After the Pen that I posted, I don't know when I'm posting this one, so probably last week or so. I'm just feeling icky, you guys. I'm not feeling myself. I am feeling overwhelmed, and I'm just feeling like life lately is just too much. Do you ever feel like that? Where life is, I don't know, like it's just like, how do people do it all? How do people like function and still have time for other stuff? Like, I feel like it's just super overwhelming and I can't get everything done, and I can't get a lot of things done, and like it leaves me no time to relax, and then when I do relax I feel guilty and all of that stuff. Now, keep in mind I am a single woman and I have my own house. So part of it, I guess, is the fact that I'm trying to do it all without a partner. They're helping me do that stuff. So it's like trying to take care of everything on my own. And that sometimes, if you're single, you understand probably that that can be a lot, right? Especially if you're a single mom, like hats off to you. If you're a single mom of small children, I don't know how you do it. I didn't get divorced until my kids were in high school, so I don't know what that's like, but I'm sure it's just so overwhelming. I'm going to start making the page as I talk to you, because otherwise you're just seeing my hands do this, you know? No. I was going to do a video where you saw my face today, but you know what? In the spirit of letting go, which is this page, I decided I wasn't going to pressure myself to get showered and do my hair and put my makeup on and get the lights out and camera. And I just was like, you know what? Let's just get this done. So that's what I'm doing. Right here, I have a Happy Notes notebook. It's a big size, and I'm going to use a page out of this. And the reason is, like, it's pretty neutral. There's only like these little peach stars and like this thing. I just wanted something like pretty white, and all the filler paper I had in the big size was like, had like the black on the side, and it was just too much. So let's get started. I'm going to title this page at the top with this Tombow brush pen, and I think I'm just going to write letting go, maybe. Okay, so I did like a little calligraphy and then like a, I don't know, I don't like this, but we're gonna let it go. We're gonna let it go. I might color that in another color. I'm talking really softly because Bumble keeps coming in and out, and she's really spazzy lately, and I don't want the stress of her like freaking out. So I'm gonna decorate with some florals while I talk to you a little bit. So as I said, lately I've been feeling icky. I've been feeling overwhelmed. I've always been a perfectionist my whole life. And that could come from like I have ADD, and it could be partly that. I have been struggling my whole life with trying to be perfect. Even when I was in like middle school, I remember making lists of like, here's all the categories of my life, and here's how I'm going to change each one of them so that I'm happy, or so that I'm like the best version of myself, right? I was like a big into like self-help books, and like I would check them out of the library. I'd get like 10 self-help books, you know, and at a time, and like read them, and like I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. I'd make lists. You know, I don't know if you're like that. I used to be like that for a long time. And the problem was I wanted to overhaul my life all at once, and I wanted it to be I wanted to be the best version of me. I wanted to be perfect in every category in my life. And I thought that that was going to bring me happiness. But what I discovered as I got older is that that did the opposite of bring me happiness. It caused me a lot of stress and it made me feel bad about myself because I couldn't do it. And so I'm like always I've always been like an all or nothing person. I don't know what to do here. I kind of like this, but like I feel like this is too big for this area. Even when I try to take it one step at a time, because I always told myself, take it one step, like don't do everything at once, right? I still couldn't because I'm all or nothing. 100%, 0%. That's just the way I am. I used to do extreme couponing, like really extreme. And when I stopped that hobby because I burn out, when I stopped the hobby, I stopped clipping coupons like altogether. I don't think I've clipped a coupon since, and that was like 1999 that I stopped, or 2000, something like that. And because if I couldn't save like, you know, 90% of my grocery bill, I wasn't gonna get, clip coupons at all. It sounds so stupid, but that's how I am in a lot of ways. Not as much anymore, and I'm going to talk about that, but I'm going to put a little leaf here, I think, just to like, I feel like that's weird there, So anyway, so I've always been like that. And as I got older, I realized that that wasn't bringing me joy anymore. That no matter what I did, I wasn't going to be able to change myself, at least not in big ways. And because I am who I am, like I did make some improvements over the years in certain categories, but like overall, like I am me. And I've always been not disorganized. I wouldn't say that. I've always been like a little bit of a slob. I'm not too bad, but I have those tendencies. So there was that. And then, so like, I do have ADD, like I said. So there's that part, there's that aspect of it. And like trying to organize like my whole entire house all at once. And like, everything's like, and I just never could do it. So then when I got older, I started feeling unhappy. I started feeling like I needed to change in order to be happy. And I started searching for happiness. And where's my crocodile punch? This is a crocodile punch where you can like punch holes out. Like one hole, you know what I mean? You just like put it here. I'll link this below for you. You just put it here and you just punch. See, so you don't need like the big punch. So I started feeling as though I wasn't happy and I was searching for happiness. Then I would buy books on happiness and I would listen to podcasts on how to be happier. And this went on for years. And then things started to shift because my boyfriend at the time got sick. So we'd been together 5 years. He started having these weird symptoms. And it turns out that it was ALS. And it like was horrible, of course. Well, he was diagnosed a few months later with this terminal illness, and with no cure at all. And that's life-changing. That's life-changing for the person, obviously, who's going through it. It's also life-changing for the families. And what I realized a little bit after that was, okay, so I'm always searching for happiness, right? I realized after that I had been happy. So sometimes you don't think you're happy until you look back on your life and realize what you had was happiness, but you didn't know it. And if I'm saying this because like, if you're in that position, I'm going to add another leaf here. This is really pretty so far, except for this. I don't really like that, but who cares? Letting go. If you're in that position right now, if you feel like you're just not happy enough. You're looking for more. I want you to think about your life and think about everything in it. I want you to think about the people in your life. I want you to think about all the things that you have. Because here's the thing. I learned for me that happiness, and I think for most people, happiness is actually peace. If your life is peaceful and there's nothing traumatic going on in your life at the moment, I feel like that's happiness. Because I look back, when I was going through this horrible time, I looked back on my life and I remembered even the year before he got sick, even that year, I was still searching for happiness. Looking back, I was like so naive. I was so naive. I didn't realize, I didn't know that I was happy, and so now my entire view of happiness has changed. For me, happiness is boring. Happiness is when your life is going boring. Happiness is not, and I'm going on a rant. So if you're not here to listen to me rant, you can turn it off. Happiness is not like going on every trip and like, excitement. Like I always thought happiness had to be something exciting and like fun. And happiness is boring and contentment for me. And maybe for most people. I don't know. I finally understood what happiness meant. And it wasn't what the books were telling you. It wasn't, have the perfect job and have, the perfect house and like picture yourself where you want to be. That stuff is all good. I mean, of course, like if you're in a job where you're not satisfied and stuff, like by all means, change it. But, and if you're in a relationship that's, not the best and you're not unhappy, change it. And if you have ever gone through a traumatic experience or have any kind of PTSD or things like that, like I think you probably understand what I'm talking about because you have a different perspective, right? All of a sudden, I had all this gratitude, even though I had lost the love of my life. I had all this gratitude because all of a sudden, I realized, how much things could be so much worse. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't like struggle all the time, Of course. Of course, I struggled. I was grieving. I was really struggling. But in the back of all of it, I realized that I have this gift of life, and it's something that my late husband didn't have a chance to experience. I mean, he did, but he was 45 when he passed away. And so, like, I used to stress about getting older and stuff like that. And, like, oh my God, my skin's saggy and this and that. But then I was like, well, wait, like, it's a privilege. Getting old is a privilege, you guys. So if you're feeling, stressed about that, try not to. I understand what it's like. Like, hey, I've been through menopause and like I'm all those symptoms and the struggles and the body changing and your whole life is changing, right? But it is a privilege. Okay. Before I continue, I know this is a lot of chatty talk, a lot of chattiness. I'm on my soapbox today. I'm sorry. Before I continue, I want to just explain what I'm doing with this page. So I am going to be listing out things that I'm going to be letting go of. Because like I said, I am really, really overwhelmed right now. And I am putting too much pressure on myself in a lot of ways. And I'm not saying I'm trying to be perfect, but I think like I have this guilt for not doing certain things and I'm letting go of that. I'm just letting go of that. And I'm going to list out the things that I'm going to stop doing or stop worrying about doing. And then I'm going to list out just a few things, just a couple of things that I want to practice like on a daily basis. I am not putting pressure on myself to do these things. I am not. But it's a reminder to myself. this is all about not putting pressure on myself. So let's start with the things I'm letting go of, because that is a bigger list. That's a bigger list. So we're gonna grab maybe some long boxes. Are there long? I mean, there's these, but I think this one I might use for like those few things, you know? Let's take this. This is going to be like the few things that I want to like improve upon. I feel like this needs to go over top of that, because I'm finding myself like worrying about things that, and I have a lot of anxiety, and I've talked about this before, but I'm finding myself worrying about things that like I don't need to be worrying about, or doing things that I don't need to do, or like stressing about doing things that I don't really need to do. And I think I'm going to outline this in black probably. Let me do that. Okay, so as I was saying, there are things that I've been struggling with lately, and I feel as though it's because I'm putting too much pressure on myself. And the older I get, the more I realize that these are things that do not matter. Not really. And I've been thinking about things like, if I don't do that thing, like what is going to happen? What's the worst that's going to happen if I don't do this thing? If I cut like these things out of my life, is that, so I've been experimenting with that and just thinking like, okay, I've got this never ending to-do list, right? Like seriously. And I know you know what I'm talking about. And that's the reason I'm a planner, because I want to keep track of all that stuff and I want to, try to be as productive as I can. But I'm struggling. And a lot of times, most days recently, I just want to like get back in bed. I don't, because I'm responsible. But sometimes I just want to like stop everything and just do nothing. And because I'm feeling like there's too much. It's all too much. And I think part of it too is like life in 2021. I don't know that I would have been feeling, I mean, I was always overwhelmed my whole life, but I don't know if it would have been this bad if it was like 1988, right? Before the internet. I think the internet has a lot to do with it. And my job especially is very social media focused. So I am experiencing a little bit of that like social media burnout. See how that like transforms that, I feel like. I'm going to color that in maybe. Maybe I'll just color that in the green. So I've been experiencing that, and like it's hard to change that because that is my job. And don't get me wrong, I am loving this job. Oh, here she comes. I'm going to talk real lightly now. So I love my job. Love, love, love. But it's also a lot. There's so many balls in the air at all times. And I don't want to complain about my job because, like I said, I'm so grateful. I am so grateful that I have this job. I'm so grateful that people want to watch me and that I can make money doing this. Like, that is amazing to me. So this is in no way a complaint or whining. I mean, maybe it is a little whining, but I just kind of want to explain how I'm feeling lately, and also because I feel like people can relate to that, right? Like, if you were going through something similar, like maybe you'll understand, and maybe you'll feel a little bit less abnormal or alone about it, because, and I'm talking really quietly because of Bumble, okay? I don't want her to freak out and start throwing the BALL at me. This is so pretty, by the way. I kind of want to keep it like green and peach now, but I don't know. I was going to bring in like blue and stuff, but now I'm thinking maybe not. There's a lot of things in my personal life that I'm neglecting because I'm working so hard. And like, I I want to stop putting pressure on myself to do everything. To be honest, like I just don't want to have to feel obligated to do all these things anymore. And because I'm constantly in my head, should, I should do this, I should do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. And really, I want to break it out into like the minimal. I want to do the minimal at this point because I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm like almost 54 and I feel like I'm too old to be worrying about all of this stuff in my head. And again, a lot of it has to do with ADD. If you have ADD, I think you know what I'm talking about. I think Mike gets frustrated with me because when we have conversations, I tend to like talk about 10 different subjects in like a 5-minute conversation. And I'll switch gears constantly. And he's like, I think I hurt his brain. I think I hurt his brain. But like, I'm not going to find what I want in this book, am I, you guys? I feel like I'm not. And that's bad. Because I was going to do the different colors. And now I'm thinking I got to make it peach and green. What if I use one of these quotes too? Like down here. Make sure to go easy on yourself. That's a good one. It's more like pink though, is it? Let's just put it down here. I can always lift it back up with undo later if I need to. Let me get the Jewel Tone Boxes book because maybe there's some boxes in there I can use. So this is, like I said, this is where I'm going to write. Let's start by writing out the stuff that I want to focus on. I guess I'm trying to like reprioritize and refocus without putting pressure on myself, if that's possible. And I want to refocus on wellness especially. So I wanted to list out a couple more than 3 things, but then I decided let's make it simple, right? So the first one is to move. And I'm not putting pressure on myself to exercise every day. In the past, I've put pressure on myself. I'm not pressuring myself to do all of these things. I know I need to exercise, and I'm really not doing it right now. I joined a gym. I hurt my hand immediately. I've got chronic pain and health issues, and I think that's part of this feeling too. This like helpless feeling, right? But I need to just move every day. Whether that means a 10-minute walk with Bumble, whether it means I go to the gym and go on the elliptical for half an hour, whether it means lifting a weight or just like running around the backyard. Like I need to do something because I find that I'm very sedentary lately and that's not helping my mood and it's not helping my health. So that's number 1. I really have to move every day. I have a list of like 6 things and I have to decide what's important. So I'm just going to write eat well. I mean, let's get to basics, guys. Like the basic things I need to do to take care of myself. Not eating that great lately. I'm not eating too bad. I'm not a horrible eater in general. Like I am a vegetable girl, but I'm definitely eating junk food as well. I can dial in my nutrition a little. Again, without worrying so much, without counting calories and without counting anything. I'm just going to do my best. The other things were sleep, family, and keeping my space peaceful, and water. Water is going to go along with eat well. Family. Because let's face it, that's the most important thing. The people in your life who you love. You know, when you're 90 years old and, you know, dying, or however old, 110, whatever, what are you going to remember? You're going to remember the people in your life. You're not going to remember how nicely decorated your house was. And by the way, I was beating myself up the other day because I filmed a video and I've got the background of my bedroom and I'm looking at my walls going, why don't I have anything cute and pretty? Like these other YouTubers have these like cute craft rooms behind them. And I'm like, because I just don't. Because the other side of my room has my cute shelves and they're messy. So I filmed the other side and I have like nothing on my wall except a little calendar. And I was like, why does my room look like that? Why can't? And then I'm like, stop. It's okay. Am I going to remember that when I'm 90? No. What I'm going to remember is how much time did I spend with my kids? What did we do together? How much time did I spend with my parents who are getting older? How much quality time did I spend with my boyfriend? When I look back on my life, I don't remember the couch that I bought. I don't remember how clean my car was. But what I do remember is laughter and you know what I'm talking about. Okay. The dog's gonna start going. Let's see. So keeping my space peaceful, I didn't put here because I don't want to put too much pressure on myself to clean all the time and to be super organized, even though I really would like to be more minimal in my environment. I might write it down here as like a little aside because I find that when my environment is peaceful, I feel better. And right now it's a little chaotic and that makes me feel worse. So I think I'm going to jot a note down here. Let me just do that right now. I'm just going to try. Okay. And I'll fill these out. I'll fill this part out later, maybe. Okay, Bumble just threw the ball at me, so we might have an issue. Okay, so let's look in the jewel tone boxes because now we're going to do with what I'm letting go. Now I got to play ball with her while I do this. This is a problem. All right, so let's take this. There's going to be two categories of things I'm letting go. One is the things like that I really keep telling myself I need to do. I should do this. I should do this. I should do this. Like little detailed things, tasks and stuff like that. And the other is feelings. So let's put this down here and then I'll get a green one, I guess. Get that other green one. So if you're relating to anything I'm saying, drop a message in the comments. It would be nice to know I'm not alone in this craziness, right? I appreciate you guys listening. I'm going to cover these up with something else, I guess. Maybe I'll put like little boxes there. It is hard to play ball and film at the same time. And I got to stop doing that because she expects it now and that's what the problem is. But I just want to like get this video done. That's an issue. At least she's putting the ball in. I have like a bin of Archer and Olive pens right by my desk, by my chair. And at least like she's bringing the ball over and putting it in that bin for me, which is nice. I like that. That's a good way to do it, Bumble, because I'll keep playing with you that way. Because she usually like throws it under the desk and then barks at me. Maybe she's learning she can do this. I want to like write letting go of, you know, like these are what I need to let go of. And this is what I need to do more of. All right, first I'm just going to write this and then I'll figure out how to do that. I'm just going to write things, feelings. This section is going to be like just things pertinent in my life that are just like detailed things that I don't think I need to do anymore. So I don't think I need to worry about deleting my emails anymore. So, because I always like stress about, I have like 10,000 emails unread, you know, like I don't think I need to worry about that. I don't think I need to like declutter my inbox like it's been on my list for forever. Like declutter that. I don't think I need to do that. I think I'm functioning fine in my email. So the first one is that. Balancing the hot tub. I gave up on it. I drained it yesterday. I'm not doing it anymore. I decided it was too stressful, so I'm not doing it anymore. Keeping my purse clean. Nope. You know what? I have receipts stuffed in that baby, and I'm going to keep stuffing receipts in there, and then every once in a while, I'll throw them out and organize it. But, like, I'm not going to stress about trying to keep my purse organized and clean. It's never going to happen, and I'm okay with that. Okay. I'm not going to match socks anymore. I know that that makes it harder for me when I go to find socks, but I'd rather search for socks when I'm putting them on instead of folding them together. I just don't want to do it anymore, so I'm not doing it. You guys might not like this one. Posting daily videos. I'm giving myself permission to post less if I want to post less. I'm not going to announce it. I'm just going to post less. There's no reason that I need to be uploading a video every single day on YouTube. Do you know the kind of work that goes into that? Crazy amount of work. I don't want to do it anymore, so I'm not going to. I'm going to still post a lot, and it might even be daily. I think the ball went under the bed. I'm going to still post a lot. It might be daily, but I'm not going to put pressure on myself. I'm not going to think, oh no, I only have 3 videos for next week. What am I going to do? I'm going to spend Saturday doing more. No, I'm not going to spend my Saturday doing more. You know what? I'm giving myself permission to have weekends off. I'm letting go of that need to be more, be better, be the best YouTuber out there, be. I'm giving that up. Okay, hold on. I got to get the ball. I think in giving that up, I am probably going to be putting out higher quality videos in general and different kinds of videos that you guys might be interested in seeing, because I just don't feel like putting out a plan with me every day is the way to go. I'm going to be doing plan with me's, don't get me wrong. And of course, I'm still doing those custom spread videos, so that's a lot. But I also cut back on those. I was doing 11 or 12. I limited the top tier of my Patreon to 8. And I might limit it even more. I might do that because 8's a lot too. And right now I currently have 11, which is fine. I told them they can stay as long as they want. But when they drop out, no one else can join until it drops down to under 8. Now that's the top tier. There's my Patreon has a whole bunch of tiers with all different perks and stuff. And I'm adding new perks all the time. I'm thinking about all sorts of new things. Interacting on social media. I'm just writing this down. I'm not giving up interacting on social media completely, but I really, really try to answer every DM and answer every email and answer as many comments as I can, and answer Facebook group comments and answer Instagram comments and, TikTok, and it's all a lot. And I'm giving myself permission to sometimes not answer. And that is a hard one for me because I feel like I want to be that person who's accessible. I really do. And that is in no way saying you cannot reach out to me, because you certainly can, and I will try to get back to you. But I want to let you know that if I don't get back to you, it is because I'm giving myself permission to not be interacting on social media at all times. It is exhausting. I don't want to constantly be plugged in anymore. I want to allow myself times where I'm not checking my phone. And that is super hard for me. So I wanted to include that in that. And I'm going to interact still as much as I feel like I want to, or I feel like I can. I'm going to stop pulling all the weeds in the backyard. And I'm not stopping in the front yard because, people will see that. Curb appeal, But the backyard, nobody sees. I mean, people see. I'm going to pull some weed, but I guess, and the thing is, I don't pull them that much. And then I feel guilty and stressed. It's ugly and all this. But I want to give myself permission to not stress. I guess a lot of this stuff is stuff that I'm not doing anyway. But I don't want to worry about it. I don't want to feel guilty that I'm not doing these things. I'm giving myself permission to just not do them and not feel guilty about it. That being said, if I want to go out in the backyard and pull all the weeds, yeah. But if I don't and I can't, so what? Am I going to remember that when I'm 90 years old? Am I going to say, oh my God, my backyard was so full of weeds? No, I'm not even going to remember my backyard, So there's that. Also, another thing I'm doing is lately I am outsourcing a lot of stuff. So I started getting landscapers again. And I know that not everyone has that, the luxury of being able to do stuff like that. I realize this. And I do feel very fortunate that I can afford that. But it's kind of expensive, and I didn't do it for a while because it was expensive, but then my yard was kind of suffering, and I hated having to mow it, and like I was in pain when I was mowing it and all this stuff. So I'm outsourcing some things like that, and I get my house clean once a month. It used to be every 2 weeks, but a charity was paying for that. They stopped paying for it in January, so I started paying for it myself, but like they were doing it every 2 weeks, and now I'm doing it once a month. And the reason for that is I don't want to scrub my showers and stuff because it hurts me. Because again, the chronic pain. So I'm paying for that. I should have made this a face video because I feel like I'm talking so much that all you see is my hands. And I'm sorry about that. That would have actually been better, but I just wanted to get it done and not stress about it. Okay. Making reels all the time, making Instagram reels. I'm still going to do them, but I'm going to try not to put too much pressure on myself to do them because sometimes I don't get around to it and then I feel bad and then I feel like, oh no, my engagement's going to go down. I'm not growing as fast as I want to, yada, yada, yada. I'm just giving myself permission to not do that if I don't have the time. Now the feelings section. And these are things I'm giving up doing with feelings, letting go of. Searching for happiness. I just realized this one's lined and this one's not. I didn't realize that. Again, we talked about the searching for happiness thing, and I'm going to stop that. Because you know what? Right now, even though I said I'm overwhelmed, I'm feeling icky, that's a temporary feeling. Even with that, I'm happy right now because everyone in my family is doing pretty well, like for the most part. Like it's kind of status quo. Everything's sort of peaceful right now. My job is going well. My financial situation is okay. My health is but I'm not, bedridden and I'm not dying as far as I know. All that. So like my parents are doing pretty good, like, so everything's kind of like this right now. So I'm letting go of that searching for happiness because again, happiness does not equal excitement. It equals contentment. Okay. So, and that doesn't mean you can't go out and do exciting things if you think that's going to be fun and like, of course, like, man, do exciting things. Do things you're going to remember. Do things you're, afraid to do. Feel the fear and do it anyway. I'm all for that kind of stuff. But realize that that doesn't mean you're going to be happier. That just means you're going to have a more exciting life. At least this is my viewpoint, okay? So I know a lot of you might disagree with this and everything. This is just my viewpoint. And you tuned in to hear my viewpoint, so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to give up worrying about what others think. So lately there was a lot of drama in the planner community. I'm not going to discuss it here because I really don't want to bring that back up, and I don't like talking about drama or participating drama. I really, really don't. But a lot of it was negative towards me, and that hurt me very badly. And for like 2 weeks, I was a mess and like had trouble like sleeping, and I wasn't eating well and like all this stuff. And it's because I was so worried about what other people were thinking about me. Because as someone who's an introvert, like with anxiety, like that's what I do, right? So I've always been an introvert. I've always been worried about other people's opinions of me my whole life. And I'm giving myself permission to just stop. And again, this isn't me putting pressure on myself to stop. And that's what I'm trying. This is like, if you could have one word about this, it would be gentle. Okay. This is gentle. And that's how I'm feeling in my brain. But I'm trying to tell myself, like, I don't even really know these people. So does it have like a big impact on my life? Again, move, eat well, family, peaceful home. Do what strangers think about me on the internet. Does that really impact my life. It didn't impact my job. I'm still making money. I still have a support group in the planner community. I still have followers. I still have subscribers. Did it affect me that way? No. So as long as it didn't affect me in any major way, I'm letting go of what others think, because you know what? Not everyone's going to like me, and not everyone's going to like you. And that's okay. That's all right. Like I read this thing the other day, like I should probably like put things down or something while I'm talking. I feel like this is boring. Let's put down some flowers while I talk. I read this thing the other day that said something like, not like everyone, something to the effect of like, just because not everyone likes peaches doesn't mean that peaches aren't good or something like that, right? So just because I'm not for everyone doesn't mean that I'm bad in any way. It just means that I'm not for everyone. And I'm trying to like realize that, and it's okay that I'm not for everyone. Neither are you. We're all different. I don't know if I like this color with this. Like, I kind of wish I put these here instead. Should I do that? I feel like that's better, don't you? I feel like that's better. I don't know if I should change it now, though. This is like a really long video at this point. So, and I'm going to rip this sticker. I don't care. I've ruined it. And Bumble's got the ball under the couch again. Lord help me. You guys, I just told Bumble to go outside and she listened to me. Can you believe that? I don't think it's going to last long, but that was pretty good. Okay, I'm just putting this here. What was I talking about? Oh, that I'm not for everyone, and that not everyone's going to watch my videos. Wait, I was saying something else and I can't remember, but I'm okay with all of that. And I've accepted that. Oh, and if like you're someone who posts on social media and stuff, like try not to let the negative comments get to you, because, and I usually don't, but like sometimes they hurt, So anyway, oh, I've got a ripped page here, letting it go. All right. I'm going to switch that one too. So I don't know. I hope some of this is resonating with you. I've said this before, like I have this big platform, and I mean, not huge by any means, but like I have a platform now, and I just feel like I want to use it for good. And I have, like, of course, but I feel like I don't do it enough. Again, not trying to put pressure on myself, but like, I think I like can use it to help people. And that's what I originally wanted to do in the beginning anyway. After I went through the experience that I went through, losing my husband, I really had this like need to try to help people, especially people going through grief and stuff. So I'm just trying to do more of that on my channel lately, and like kind of be a little more real. I've always been real with you guys, but I feel like there's certain things I sometimes don't say, and I'm trying to say them now. I don't know if you've noticed a little bit of a change that way, but I'm trying to. Because I feel like sometimes if people resonate with something someone says on the internet, it just helps them feel like they're not alone in feeling this way. Because I've felt alone in feeling the way I feel about stuff for a long time. And then I posted like one thing on Instagram story about the anxiety I feel and stuff. And I got this like overwhelming amount of DMs from people saying they feel the exact same way. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. You do? I had no idea. So I think that people, don't talk about certain things. Okay, so worrying about what others think. I'm just going to write the idea of a perfect life. Again, it goes along with searching for happiness, and it goes along with what I was saying before, how I was like 100% or nothing. I had to be everything in every category in my life. I had to be the best mom. I had to be the best, which of course is so important, but I to be the best mom. I had to be the best wife. I had to be the best housekeeper. I had to be the best, like, had the best body. I had to, like, be sociable, and I had to do this and I had to do that. And I had so much pressure on myself. So I'm letting that go. None of us are perfect. We're not. We're not. And if all of us were perfect, that would be so freaking boring, wouldn't it? I know it would be so boring. Like, who wants perfect people walking around all the time? We're perfectly imperfect, is what I say. I am a hot mess. I've talked to you about that. That is no that is no secret. And I'm letting that go because at this age, am I going to ever be perfect? At any age, am I going to ever be perfect? No. No. So, like, why do I worry about that so much? And I've gotten better at it over the years. I really, really have. I've been a lot better at it. But lately, I've been feeling a little bit like, I don't know. And like, people buy into that kind of stuff, right? Like, sorry. People buy into like these self-help people telling you that you can have it all. Like, you can, be everything you want to be. You can do everything you want to do. You can have it all. And I'm here to tell you, you can have a great life. You can have a fantastic life. Do you hear purring? Benny's here. But you can't have it all. Nobody can have it all in every category in your life. So I bought into all that self-help for years and years and years. And I think it's a little bit unhealthy, some of the things that they're putting out there. I don't know if it's like so much anymore that they do this, but like books that are like, change your life in like 3 months, a year to change your life. Like, I was always like, change my life. Yes, I want to change my life. But I had a good life. So what was I like, why do I want to change it? I don't know. Okay, enough of that. Let's see. And the next one, I'm giving up feeling obligated. Just because somebody asks me to do something doesn't mean I have to do it. Just because other people are doing something doesn't mean I have to do it. And I've fallen into that trap so much because I'm a people pleaser. I want everyone to be happy with me. I hate when people are mad at me. I don't want any negativity. I don't want any controversy. I run from that kind of stuff. That's why I don't participate in any drama. It stresses me out. I get very, very, very stressed out when people are upset with me. And like, so I try really hard to like be what people want me to be, but I don't have to do everything, and I don't have to say yes to every invitation, and I don't have to do everything that people want me to be doing. So I'm done feeling obligated. I'm going to really, really try to just give that up and just do what's best for me at the time. And tell people, hey, I can't do that right now. Like, thank you for asking me or whatever, but I unfortunately, like, I can't, like, my plate's too full, or I just don't have like the mental energy for that right now. I just can't. And you know what? If they get bent out of shape, then maybe they're not the people that I need in my life, because I think understanding people, like, I would understand if someone said that to me. Okay. Beating myself up for making mistakes. So we all make mistakes. I feel like sometimes I make more mistakes than other people. But here's the thing. Mistakes are how we learn. You're not going to learn from just like reading in a book. You're going to learn from experience. When something hurts you, or something, you get a reaction you don't like, or you get a negative, whatchamacallit? Why can't I think of the word? Something happens negative because of a result, or no, not result. That's not, whatever. Like, you learn from that, right? Like, you do something bad happens, you don't do it again. You do something good happens, you do it again. And that's life. And I always tried when my kids were little to let them make their own mistakes. And it's hard to let your kids make mistakes when they shouldn't be doing something or whatever. And I don't mean like stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I tried to let them make their own mistakes because they're going to learn. If I saved them from everything, then they wouldn't have had it consequences. That's the word. Oh my gosh, why couldn't I remember that? Because 53, right? Mental fog. So, like, if they didn't have negative consequences, they would not have learned as well as if I had just told them not to do that because this might happen, right? So I try not to save them too much, even though that was really hard. But that's how we learn and grow. And I don't care how old you are, you're still making mistakes that you learn from. And that's okay. So if you're making a lot of mistakes in whatever aspect of your life, try not to give yourself too much of a hard time, because you know what? You probably won't do it next time. And that's how it is. And that's okay. So give yourself some grace for that. Okay, and the last one, how do I word this? Worrying about things I can't control. Now, this one is a tough one for me. Because, like I said, I've got anxiety, and sometimes I can't control myself to stop worrying about things I can't control. But I'd like to remind myself, when I'm worrying, that there's no point. Like, either things you can't control or things you don't know the outcome of yet. It just like adds another part, right? So I'm trying to do that. It's really hard, I know, and it's not something that I can just look at this and say, okay, I'm not going to worry about that. But I try now, like, not to let things spiral, even though they still do. So, I'm putting this down because I'm not doing it, and I really want to try. But again, I'm not putting pressure on myself. Like, I really want to try not to put pressure on myself with any of this stuff on here. So that's the weird part. Like, I'm doing a page on letting go of things. And yet, and especially like letting go of perfection. But like at the same time, I am like writing about letting go of perfection, but I'm like making lists of things I'm not going to do anymore or things I'm going to do. So that's why I said this is like gentle, because I'm remembering that like this is not written in stone. This is like little reminders to myself that these things are okay, you know. I think like doing something like this is kind of important too, because we have like those to-do lists as planners, right? We've got a lot of to-do lists, and we've got things that is never ending things on my, and I might add to this as I go along. I could leave this part, I'll probably just leave this part blank over here and add things to this as I go along, because I feel like there's going to be more that I haven't thought of that I'm constantly putting on my to-do list. Stuff I could either outsource, or stuff I can delegate to someone else, or stuff that I really don't have to do, that I'm just putting, like, it is in my own mind, right? Because I've had these like long to-do lists and brain dumps my whole life of things that will stay on there for like year to year, that I never did. Like organizing this thing, or like going through that box in the basement that I haven't gone through in 12 years, or like things like that, or like, making sure I do this thing for this person that's like, or whatever. And sometimes you can just let some of that go and like reprioritize and just do the things that are like important, that are like life things that you really need to do. Because I feel like 75% of the things on my to-do list aren't things I actually need to do. I think they're things that I think I need to do, but if I really cut it down to the necessary things, and I'm not saying, oh, here's Benny. I'm not saying that I want to be like, just do the minimum, even though sometimes that's all I can do. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there's just certain things that I feel like I need to do that. Maybe I really don't. So I encourage you to examine your life and just look at all of the things that you do, or all the things that you think you need to do, or all the things that you write on your to-do list or stress about, that maybe you can take off your list and take out of your brain. Because like you might not need to be doing them. I don't know. Just food for thought. Let's put a couple of other things down, like a couple of other flowers, I guess, and we'll just be finished with it. I'm done talking your ear off, but I just thought it was kind of important to get this out there. And like also, this is a really pretty page, so I'd encourage you to make one. If you do, tag me in it. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see what you're letting go of. And also, like, write in the comments, like, tell me, what are you letting go of? What did this help you in any way to, where's my other book? Did this video help you in any way to, like, think of something in your life that you can let go of? Either a thing you're doing that you don't need to be doing, or a feeling. Because I always like to know if I'm helping someone. Let's put more of these in, I guess. These flowers are really pretty. I don't like how they like end without anything there, but I'm gonna let that go. Oh, so remember how I said I wanted to like label this in some way so that people who saw it maybe online would understand what this meant? I think I'm just gonna write here what I'm letting go of. And oops, not off, not going off. Letting go of. And now I'll just do like a little arrow, I guess. And then maybe a bigger one like that. That's weird. It's okay. I'm letting you go. What I'm letting go of. Okay. Wow. I really hate that arrow, like so close and that one far away. I wish that one went like this. Let's change it. I know. I'm going to have white out on my page now. Urgh. Okay, I feel like something else needs to go here. And again, I'm going to fill this out. I don't know exactly what something about these, right? And by the way, I'm procrastinating right now because I'm supposed to be doing those custom spreads. And like, yeah, some of them are like really hard and I don't know how to do them. So I'm procrastinating by doing this, just so you know. I am a procrastinator, I will say, and I'm not letting go of procrastinating because that's a personality trait that I don't think I'm ever going to be able to change. So not at this point in my life, I don't think. So I'm embracing my procrastination and just kind of going with it. Maybe I don't need to put anything there. All right, I'm letting it go. Okay, so anyway, I know this was a long video, and I know I talked your ear off, and my videos aren't going to turn into like lectures or anything. I'm not going to start babbling at you all the time about this kind of stuff, but I just think sometimes it's important to have reminders and to get the word out there that you don't have to be perfect, and it's okay. So that's the main takeaway from this. Don't feel like you need to have the perfect life, because you're doing just fine with how you're handling your life. You're doing okay. You're doing okay. All right. I will talk to you in my next video. So have a good one. See ya.